Hey, Claude.
Hi, Jess. How you doing?
Good. How's it going with me away on work travel?
Oh, it's so lonely. I do not like it. Now I feel like exactly the way you felt
2 weeks ago?
when
Yes.
I was away. Yep. How was your travel?
Stressful and long per usual. I had one of the craziest flight landings I've ever experienced. It was like one of those ones where you jump up and down. Like everybody clapped at the end because it was. And then as soon as we got off the plane, there was a torrential hailstorm. I had to run through hail to catch my Uber. It was very fun.
Joy of traveling.
Yes, for real. Oh my gosh. Anyway, enough of me bitching, or ironically, that's so funny. That's the episode title.
I want to make sure that people understand
where this came from.
The name of the episode.
So
go ahead,
yeah,
Jess.
I was gonna say we did. I think it was part of the part that didn't actually get recorded. It was the pre-record, where the two individuals were talking to us about their kind of best place to bond and what they really enjoyed out of life. And they ironically both screamed at the same time, "Bitching Angels," which apparently is the drink of choice for them at their local establishment that they hang out with the rest of their coworkers after work. So they were very jazzed about naming the episode after this drink, which we should send some pictures out there so people know what the drink's all about.
Yeah, it's actually on one of the posts.
Okay, good.
I believe.
Fantastic.
Which
we should say that these two are nothing like Bitching Angels.
No.
They could not be the sweetest individuals, and
oh my goodness,
more examples of how you can elevate your work and personal life.
Especially personal. That's what I really loved about this episode, is that it started as co-worker, work besties, work friends, and then work besties, and now personal friends, where they even confine in each other in everything in their life.
For sure. They definitely. In fact, there was so much stuff that they confide. They brought us into the inner circle. So
I loved it.
There's a lot of things that we know and discussed off the record.
Yes. And they reminded me a lot about us, where same thing, right? We had the same trajectory about co-worker, work friends, work besties, and then really knowing everything about each other, which is nice to see.
Exactly. All right, with that, let's let our guests talk about themselves.
Work Besties!
So today, I'm excited to have two people on the pod, one of which I do not know at all, and the other is actually just an acquaintance, but it's an interesting story. It's a friend of a friend who we kind of bonded over something unique. It was a bond for our love of salsa verde. But that's a story for another time. So let's get started and yourselves instead of me talking about my love of salsa verde.
I'm Amy. I work with Erica in healthcare. I've been here for about 6 years, and I think we connected like maybe 5.5 years, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
We had a little lull where we weren't really super close.
Yeah, I would say probably the first maybe 1.5, 2 years. And then after that, we've kind of been inseparable, essentially.
I was just going to finish your sentence.
We're already, I was going to say, we should have set the tone that the two of you joined in one screen sharing headphones. Because it looks like it's hard
right now. Didn't make it.
So, Erica, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Erica. I've been working here in the healthcare field for about 7 years. I think just 6 months longer than Amy started. So yeah, kind of like she said, we were acquaintances, coworkers for, I guess, like 1.5, 2 years. And then after that, just kind of inseparable, hanging out, seeking each other out to vent about some of our frustrations at work. And then I think just our lives, relationships, kids, after school activities, the whole gamut. So it's been nice having her here.
So you guys, so obviously you became friends once you started working together, but what was your very first impressions of each
I
other?
remember thinking that like Amy knows her shit. That's what I And you were so polite and professional, and you had just started in our company, and you were just so like, yeah, prim and proper. I was working with another nurse at that time, and we were just kind of both, I guess, a little bit more laid back. And Amy was just like, how can I help you? And trying to fix things. And she was just so great.
My first impression of Erica was, oh my God, she has the most beautiful hair. I see her and I'm like, who is this? Like, she's so pretty. Who is she? Like, that was honestly like my first impression.
I just imagined it like blowing in the wind when you saw me. First impression.
Yeah, totally.
Actually, I was going to make a comment about your hair. It's beautiful, right?
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And I'm like, I remember asking him, be like, how do you do it? Like, it's so pretty and it's curly and it's just so like bouncy.
A lot of key products.
Got a lot of, yeah, her hair is gorgeous. It's got a lot of body to it.
That was like oddly enough my first impression. I was checking her out.
That's your first impression. You're like, how do I get that?
So you just said before that, for about a year and a half, you were not like really besties, but co-worker. What was really the situation when suddenly it went from co-workers to friendly co-worker to bestie?
I think initially I was in the position as worker, and the nurse was the coordinator of our clinic at that time. And I ended up, when the nurse left, I took over as a program coordinator. So then I think it kind of, I wouldn't say forced, but I think it put us like we were.
Wait, did that mean Amy reported into you then, or?
No, she's like, we're both in the same service line.
Yeah.
So she's like more administrative.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of like our clinics, Amy helps fill, make sure things are running smoothly. Basically, I think you have your hands in just about a little bit of everything: supplies, clinic, patient flow, like everything. So I think when I became in the program coordinator position, we were talking on a more consistent level, and then work stuff would be done, and then we would just keep talking.
Mm-hmm. It was just super easy,
and
fluid. I don't know if there's anything really specific to me that stands out where I was like, oh, that was our moment. I think it was just kind of like, it just sort of happened. It was very natural. COVID even.
Yeah, probably a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of how we were like not really chatting that much. And then
What do you mean by COVID maybe? Like COVID brought you together?
Yeah, like just the pandemic itself. Yeah, just kind of checking in. I feel like we checked in a few times on each other.
And I think there was this kind of weird time too where there were not a lot of folks in the hospital. So it was just us kind of in the hospital. And then it was like, oh, we could talk a little bit longer. And then it's like, oh, we have all this stuff in common.
So it gave you more of the downtime to have those longer conversations. And you weren't so rushed with work.
So what do you have in common?
We both think she has beautiful hair.
We have in common. Original hair bonding.
The kids that are around the same age group. Erica has 2 teens and then a preteen.
Mm-hmm.
I have a teenager. So I think that's kind of like probably where we're like, oh my God, listen to what my kid did. You know what I mean? Or this is what my kid did. Like, good, bad, listen to what my partner did or what is going on.
I was just going to say that, yeah. Marriage stuff, just a roller coaster of relationships. And I think too, like she had frustration with, I think, work and, fellow coworkers and stuff and being able to share and bond over that. Yes. And knowing that whatever we say was going to stay in that room. Mm-hmm. It's like, because I don't share a lot with a lot of people. Amy's more the extrovert. She's kind of brought me out of my and into different things around the work center, but it was nice just having that person that I felt comfortable. Like anything that we talked about was just going to stay between me and her.
So that level of trust is really what kind of puts you to that next level.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Which it's funny because our service chief actually pointed that out. She was like, I really love your friendship with Erica because there was a time where like you didn't really come to like a staff meeting or like our holiday party, the Yankee swap and stuff like that, or like a breakfast that we would do. And that was more, I think schedule wise and just maybe not being comfortable doing it. And so I was like, you need to come. I need my friends. Like,
and then now I'm like,
I'm like, friends. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now we're connected.
Literally with your earbuds. That's awesome. So it helped you because you had that one person that could kind of draw that out of you to help others see that you are lighthearted and fun. And it's good to have that and to have that support system at work that not only helps you with work, but your work-life balance too, for sure.
Yes,
Claude and I talk about that a lot.
And I think too, you were then able to meet a lot of other staff members so we have actually a really big service line. We have like 50 people in our service line. The service line, the specific department that Erica works for is small. And so didn't know some of the other staff members where I'm kind of in the central part of it, I guess you would say. So I know everybody that's within their service line because I just kind of have to. So yeah, I think then you to then have like other friendships as well. Get to know some other people.
And then Amy started coordinating these night outs. So like once a month or once a quarter or something, everybody would go out.
Like once a month.
Yeah. And just like relax and, have a couple beers. And I think that too helped out because I would stay later with Amy and other people would stay late. And it was like, oh my gosh, like I like this person too. And we have this in common. So I think that helped too.
That's awesome.
Amy's like the social butterfly over here.
But one of the questions we do have is around how are ways that people in organizations can kind of help foster those connections, right? Because having that work-life bestie does change around your life. Like Erica, you said, like now you are more social and you feel more confident and comfortable going out. And you now have all these other avenues to meet other people and see them in a different light because you're not stressed about work or trying to answer the question that has to do with work versus the person. So I think those are great examples of it, as whether it's going out for drinks or just going out, just getting people outside of the work environment, but still together is so important.
And how do people actually see your friendship, your coworkers? What would they say about you guys?
Oh, I'd say they're jealous.
I love it.
I think they love it, like just as much as,
yeah. There's a lot of times where like now, because the clinics are up and running and busy and, we don't have as much time to spend and, have time to check in with each other. She has like a 40-minute And so I'm like, call me on the way home. So then we have like
we can check in
uninterrupted time for like, and like I feel like we're like a little married couple where we're like, call me on your way home and we'll talk.
Oh,
I'm at the gym. I can't do that now. Give me 5 minutes.
Yes, that beats our ongoing text message.
Well, I mean, in fairness, we'll be like texting and at the same time in the same room with each other.
Yeah, that's true. IMing at the same time as well.
Have like 3 different conversations, sometimes with others involved. I'm like, which one am I answering? I don't even know.
We do that too with Teams.
Yeah, we do.
Like cell phone.
Yeah. Or if we're in a meeting together, sometimes like we'll do a little side conversation and wait for the other to react. Like
sometimes it's like inappropriate, and I'm just trying to like hold in my smile, like super serious face.
Don't make me think. Don't make me think.
Yeah. Don't make eye contact with Amy.
So what is something that you guys admire about each other outside of the hair, obviously?
I think I really I know I mentioned that Amy's an extrovert, and she is, but I also love how she's able to pull different people together. Like she's really good about making people feel like important and valued and part of the team. And she does that to anybody that's in our service line. And I think that's a really good trait to have. And she can carry on a conversation with like just about anybody.
Didn't feel wow. People perceive you completely different than how you feel. So that's amazing. Aww. So sweet. I feel like Erica always has great advice. And she always listens. Like I've had like a weird year personally, and she's always been there. Like anytime, or I can just be like, I need a hug, or she'll just be like, do you need a hug? Yes, I need a hug. Do you need to cry? I need to cry. Like just always being there. And even if she's really busy, even if it's like 3 seconds, it's totally fine. But I think just like compassion is like the biggest thing.
Oh,
beautiful.
That is really nice. And I feel really bad because just the other day I kicked Amy out of my office. Now I feel so bad. It was probably one of those times that you like needed to, okay.
No, I would have been like, literally give me a hug. I have a hug before you kick me out. Yes, I have a hug before we go.
That's so great that you're that close of a relationship that you can like do that, right? Where you can say to each other, this is what I need. Like, I don't need to vet or to have you give me an answer. I just need to hug you, or I just need you to hear it. So I can say it out loud to somebody. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Or even just like text it out or type it out and be like, okay, I feel better now. Let's never talk about this again.
A lot of that. I'm going to say this once and then we never talk about it.
Just delete the text.
Okay, so what is the funniest experience or interaction you guys have had together?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
We've had a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
We have a lot of fun.
I was trying to think of ones that were good to share.
Yeah. Sometimes they're not appropriate.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why do we want to hear that?
There was a patient in the hallway. I think he needed to go somewhere and he stopped. She and I were talking in the hallway and he said, oh my gosh, your hair is so beautiful. I'm like, isn't it though? And he was like, oh my gosh, and you have such a beautiful smile. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And I was like, what else do you have for it? Lamenting. It's like, can you tell me how to get out? And we're like, oh yeah,
It's fine. You're like, we have no compliment.
I was like, compliment. It's like paying the toll. We do have a lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's easy. Yeah.
It sounds like it for sure. And it sounds like you guys have a lot of like activities outside of work. So there's always other avenues to like release that fun.
Yeah, this one has gotten me out of my comfort zone big time, for sure. So last summer we went kayaking. Never went kayaking before. And then last year, because my memory just pops up, we went rock climbing, indoor rock climbing for the first time.
Oh, fun.
Wow.
I hadn't done that before, so we need to redo the rock climbing.
I just thought about the time when we were kayaking and we are like floating around in the middle of the lake. And Amy's like, okay, so what do we do? I'm like, we just sit here and float around and we talk. She's like, oh, okay.
Like, they need to do something else.
What's the activity? Like, this is the activity.
Oh, and we drink our ciders? Okay. Snacks.
So, obviously you say that your coworker, they were jealous or whatever. What about the organization? Are they doing something that really foster this friendship? Are they responsive to those friendship? What do they do to foster that?
So where we work, we each have like our own little service sign. Like Amy mentioned, like we're in the same service sign. Our chief is amazing, and she is really good about trying to create different events. I think once a quarter we do a little event where we bring the whole service line together and do like an arts and crafts or whole health type group activity, and it's really fun. Like
team building.
Yes, thank you.
But we don't like to call it team building because nobody likes the team building.
Yeah, you don't want to have the term, but it is a way for you guys to kind of get to know each other.
Yes. Yeah. One time they set up what are they, ping pong tables and.
That was supposed to be coffee and cornhole.
Yes, coffee and cornhole.
Because we couldn't do Coronas and cornhole.
Yes.
8 a.m. was too early.
I just feel like coffee and cornhole did not go together, but
it doesn't. However, it was fun for an hour.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe next time, like donut holes and cornhole, at least they have a connection.
Ooh, yes, that's good. Next time.
Yeah.
But they're always trying to find things like that where everybody can participate and take a breather from your workstation.
Okay. So so it sounds like they find ways for you all to still connect and kind of get to know each other. So even if they're not like highlighting your work relationship, they're still helping others to kind of find that connection. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. So formal.
Hey, Amy, how do you feel when actually Erica is, working from home?
I don't like it.
Like, I miss you.
God, it's days.
I'm like messaging her. I'm like, I miss you. Oh. Can you do a call? Why are you busy all the time?
Why are you not responding?
And actually, do you have other work friendship?
Any other work besties, whether in your current place or in previous places you've been at?
I definitely do. I feel like I have people that I'm really close to. I feel like Erica and I connect so well, though. I think it's more like where we are in our lives. Like just with like some of my really good friends here are just getting their marriages started and their babies going, or they're just having kids, or their kids are really little, and that's wonderful. It's just a different connection. So I feel like because our kids are grown and they don't rely on us so much. Like mine's home right now,
Right.
and I can be here. It's just a little bit different, but I certainly have like other friendships, and I was kind of nervous to actually talk.
Yeah.
I was like, Erica's my girl. They were like, oh, that makes sense.
I would say here, probably Amy's obviously my work bestie. So I was in the military before, so I had a lot of work besties in the military that I still talk to this day, but they're now stationed elsewhere. And we have acquaintances, and I have some good coworkers that I'm close to, but nowhere near as close to Amy. I think I see you at least 3 or 4 times a day. She usually pops in the morning to just say hi. And if I haven't seen her by 9, I'm like, okay, where is she? Like, what is going on?
Here today.
What
I've seen your outfit.
I gotta ask about the military. What is work besties like in the military?
Fantastic. Like they talk about the military family a lot, and it's definitely true. Like my work bestie is currently stationed in Hawaii, but we knew each other in Portugal. We were both stationed in an island in the middle of nowhere, and it was just nice having that person to hang out after work, go visit places, hang out with the kiddos, things like that. So you're really bonded by where you're at in the world.
I would assume it's got to be even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you get along,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're like,
say yours wasn't intense. Sorry.
You're cooking dinner together.
Yeah, I could. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Very fascinating. Would you have any parting words or advice for future generations that are in your work environment, and how they can either find that connection with somebody, or the value of finding that connection with somebody?
I think take the leap, I guess, like if you're invited out, if you're invited team building or even out for a drink, like take the leap, go. Like it's worth it building those friendships. Like I said, Amy's an extrovert and I'm more of an introvert, and I'm very much like, you work when you're at work, but it's been so wonderful having somebody here that I can confide in and trust and just be completely vulnerable with, like not only with work, but with my life too. And I wouldn't have had that had I not kind of take the leap and trusted Amy and leaned on her. And I'm kind of like, I have maybe like a handful of female best friends. Like I have brothers. I grew up with a bunch of cousins. I was in the military. It was predominantly male. I haven't had like a lot of strong female friendships. Amy's one of few. And it's so nice. It's just a different kind of friendship. I think it's been great.
Yeah. I think, what I was going to say before, was we know that we're really good friends and that we're pretty much work besties. We've known that for a really long time. I think until you sent the questionnaire though out, and Erica was like, oh my God, this is like amazing. Like I'm tearful. Like
reading it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have responses to all these. Like it was just making me tear up, like how close we've become over the last couple years. So one quick story to share. So we all, for dinner at home, we all sit down together, me and the kids. And sometimes I'll be like, what was your favorite part of your day? And the other day, my son asked, and he's 17. He's like, what was the favorite part of your day, Mom? And before I was about to answer, he's like, and you can't say anything about Amy.
And you're like, then nothing.
well,
It's like, it's inflated.
I think, from your last question, like Erica said, like take the leap, take the chance, I guess, try to find some like common, bond or something that you have in common, and feel like there's a lot of women who are competitive, and just be a cheerleader, like fix the crown essentially, like don't try to knock it off, like just be there, be supportive. And, even if I don't have a toddler right now, I can still relate to that with some of my other work friends who are going through different things, and, just funny stories, just sort of like, I guess, interacting and supporting each other. Maybe who doesn't drive you crazy? If you want to tend to, it's on your way home. Private time.
Yeah.
It's music time.
Right.
Or audiobook.
And I think sometimes like that's what bonds you too, is just like the work stressors, and maybe dealing with challenging folks too. It's kind of like having that person to vent to. And that's normal and okay.
Yeah.
That's normal, okay, and needed. Like, you do need somebody who knows those people too.
Mm-hmm.
When you go home, like telling your kids or your significant other about them, it's just not the same. Well, thank you,
That's
guys.
great. You know, you really see how you really help each other and support each other. And that is just beautiful, and it's needed, you know, especially in the workplace.
And I'm sure others in your workplace see that too, right? Like, even though they may not know how personal you got with each other, just knowing, like, just the way you guys talk, and the fact that at one point you said, like, I almost finished your sentence for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's like gives people at work liberties to feel comfortable doing it too, which is fantastic.
I think so.
I hope so.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. That's a wrap.
That's it.
This was great, though.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
is
Like
really
I said,
fun.
it really made us realize like how close we are. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my, that was definitely one of the sweetest guests we've had. Those two, even from the jump when they joined the episode, sharing earbuds, and it looked like they were in a heart picture or something. Everything about them was so sweet. Their messaging of "take the leap" could not have been more on point to what we're trying to get across. As the value of Work Besties.
No, totally. Like, really taking the leap, it's so important. And also, you can see the love. Even they realized, thanks to that, when they were saying at one point, how they realized how close they were.
Yeah.
You know, so that actually made us happy.
Yeah. It made them value their friendship and their relationship even more, which is so important for sure.
What I loved also was this, and we see that often in every episode, like the yin to the yang, you know, positive attract, and one being more introvert, the other one more extrovert, and they help each other like that. Which it's again, you and I are the yin to the yang. I'm still trying to understand which one is extrovert, which one is introvert. I think it really depends on the occasion.
Yeah, I think it's the situation at hand for sure. Because we both have elements that are more leaning introvert versus extrovert depending upon certain things.
I know for me, it's about the size of the crowd too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you definitely... that doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
You know, I love to get up and tell a story.
No, I know you love, which I love. I love that. What I loved also is we saw even more on this episode, even though it happened in other episodes, is the Claude translation, right? It's like when, you know, I ask a question and then right away you repeat the question. So it's
you mean
not like
my Claude-splaining.
Yeah, it's not mansplaining, it's Claude splaining.
I do it without even realizing it too. I'm so sorry. It's out of love. It's out of love. It's not.
I know.
I hope you didn't take offense to it.
Are you joking? No, it's so funny. I think it's funny.
It does remind me of how, like, even in this episode, we had it in a couple other episodes, how there's so many things that we wind up cutting, or somebody will specifically say at one point in the pod, like, please cut this, or this is personal. And so in other ones, like, people have shared with us so many things. And it's such a great example of how when you are work besties, you're so close that you share everything, your personal life, your personal challenges. I mean, gosh, even in some of these past and upcoming episodes we've had, people have shared stuff with us, like they're pregnant, they're going through a separation, they're going through some mental wellness checks that are pretty severe, or we're dealing with kids, things of that nature. So it's just very telling how the work bestie friendship is so important. It really does bring it to the next level.
Like, I know, it's like, I'm sure that you felt like you knew my husband before you actually met him, and vice versa, you know.
And our kids too.
And our kids as well.
I mean, I hope this was an enjoyable episode for everybody else, because it was so enjoyable for us. And I still can't stop smiling after chatting with them. Amy and Erica are such a joy. And it's so cool to see too how the work bestie friendships evolve and or happen across every industry, no matter your career, no matter where you're at in life. And really it is so important to help not just you, but the other person too.
And that's what I like at the end of the day. This whole work bestie thing is really the support,
Yes.
right? But it's really that support, that laugh, but that support. And we were able to see across all the different episodes. There's really this common
Thematic.
denominator. Yeah.
Which kind of hits on our favorite thing to say every episode.
I know. Are we going to be able to do it this time?
Let's see if we can say it in unison. So, to all the work besties out there, keep supporting each other.
Yeah, we didn't do it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.